inches in from the end of the mudsill. This puts the center of the joist at 16 inches and each successive joist 16 inches apart, so that an 8-foot piece of subflooring will end in the middle of a joist, which is where the next sheet will begin. Rather than cutting every joist to butt into another on top of the beam, run them past each other. This eliminates a ton of cutting and saves a lot of time. However, it places the sister joist on the opposite side of the layout line, so this needs to be remembered. When laying out the beam, place X's on both sides of the line, indicating which direction the joist runs. This ought to keep all the joists running straight and square so that the subflooring will install smoothly. But before putting down that subfloor, locate and transfer the point loads. Atop this beam will sit a bearing wall that carries half the ceiling weight. This wall sits directly over the beam, so the load is transferred directly. If the wall is more than a joist depth away from the beam, you either need to have put the beam in a different place or you need a backup plan. The roof is carried by the outside walls. Within those walls are places that have extra concentrations of weight, such as the trimmer studs under headers. These studs need to be fully supported with blocks to transfer the weight to the mudsill, which transfers it to the foundation. In this opening, the trimmers are fully supported by the double joists below. But this one has a larger load that's not fully supported. One good option is to add a couple of joists to pick up the load. Another thing to think about before laying the subflooring down is how difficult it's going to be to insulate that last little joist cavity after it's covered. It'll never be easier to insulate than it is now before you put down any subflooring. As usual, planning ahead means not going backward.